How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. We have something really ugly going on right now, and that's more banks falling down significantly. PacWest Bancorp down 40%, continues to get halted at the time of this recording. Western Alliance Bancorp down 20%. A lot of other stocks down 20% plus in the banking sector. Want to talk about that here today, talk about what's happening in crypto too, because we do have some big announcements happening in crypto and some good news for crypto. Some people very bullish on crypto. So we're going to talk about all that. If you don't mind, hit the like button, hit subscribe to see future videos just like this. If you want to know what I'm buying and selling, there's a link to the Patreon underneath the video. And I'm going to try to get through all this. Please stay through to the end. I'm going to try to get through it quickly. So let's start here. PacWest Bancorp down 40% today. Western Alliance Bancorp down 20%. Like I said, a lot of other banks down 20% plus. We also have SoFi down 11%. Obviously, a big bank in the YouTube space. Comerica Bank down 13% as well. The bank that I used to work at, that's over 100 years old, down significantly. And this is after Cramer just said that he thinks we are near the end of the deposit flight. This is from May 1. Obviously, this is coming off of First Republic Bank collapsing. Investors are basically signaling they are not willing to touch banks. They're willing to get out of banks at any price, basically. Even on the 5-day here, right? PacWest was $12 a week ago. If we go a little bit further back, it was just sideways for so long. And then this really scared the market. This last bank collapse, and obviously it was scared before this, but it's at an 18% dividend yield now. At least if they continue to keep up their dividend. Now, I'm not saying to go buy this, but I'm saying like investors are not touching this. Investors aren't touching Western Alliance. Investors are not willing to jump into these bank stocks. Now, JPM is a different story. JPM's down like 1% here today, basically what the whole market is down. The indices are down around that much too. But this is basically signaling that the Fed is going to continue to break banks, or these banks are just not worth the risk. And a couple months ago, when this bank collapse started, I jumped into a bank stock. Then I sold it a few days later because I realized that it was not worth the risk. I was up a little bit, even with a 6, 7, 8, 9% dividend yield, right? If the stock falls 20 or 30% in a day, it could take years worth of dividends just to get that money back if it stays around that price. And we don't know what banks are going to collapse next. We don't know what kind of fear is going to hit the market, right? You can invest, buy the dip on a stock like this, and then have it go down 25% the next day. So I don't think these are worth it, but it's interesting to see the fear in the banking system. Now, we do have the Fed rate hike decision tomorrow. Seems like Jim Cramer basically ruined the whole banking sector, saying that they're at the end of the deposit flight. Obviously, the market's going to react to what the Fed says tomorrow, I think, more than what they do. It's pretty much guaranteed, according to the market, that they're going to raise by 25 basis points. But we're looking to hear what they have to say about future rate hikes, how long they might pause for. Are they seeing inflation come down? What do they think about the banks collapsing? And of course, everything's going to be well manicured. Everything's going to sound politically correct. They're not going to give a ton of straight answers, most likely. But it seems like over the last couple meetings, Jerome Powell has spoken a little bit more straightforward to us. So hopefully we get some news on that, what they are looking at doing in the future. Now, Bitcoin, at the same time that this is all happening, Bitcoin's moving up. Bitcoin was around 24,000, right under 24,000. And after these banks start to collapse, we're at like 28.4 now. So you can see here 28.4, and it looks pretty good. Bitcoin's still making new highs. So Bitcoin's hash rate is relentless. Not only is it pushing for new record highs, this is also the largest 5-day increase ever. You can see the exahashes surpassing 400. I remember just a couple months ago, we were at 300, and that was a huge new record. Now we're at 400. With the price going up, more people are willing to plug in their old miners. We also just talked about this yesterday. They're processing more transactions than ever before as well, with a lot of transactions coming from ordinals. We also have a lot of other good news that's causing the market to be excited, and I'm just going to go through a couple of them here. Kingdom of Bataan has been mining Bitcoin for several years. They're also holding Bitcoin. We have less than a year before the next Bitcoin halving. We got news that PayPal is going to allow Venmo users to withdraw their Bitcoin. We have news that MasterCard is also making partnerships in the crypto space. Amazon is starting an NFT platform. So there's a lot happening. Now, keep in mind, though, there still is some risk. Like, for example, DCG is actively looking for a buyer for Grayscale. But with everything happening right now, some people are getting still more excited as time goes on. Raoul Pal just said the banks are suggesting that the Fed would be absolutely bananas to raise rates again, and add to that the risk of more noise around the debt ceiling and possible liquidity removal. They are walking a very tight rope. Feels like a bonds and crypto moment brewing. So pretty bullish, he's saying, for crypto. Now, some people are still selling. You can see this is the Asset Fund Flows Report weekly, and we just got news that about $72.1 million came out of crypto this week from some of the large ETFs you can see. And a lot of that is coming from Bitcoin, about 45.5 million coming out, while normal retail investors continue to stack sats. They're buying while big exchanges or big ETFs are selling. Some other news in crypto: Coinbase is launching Coinbase International Exchange and will begin by offering Bitcoin and Ethereum perpetual futures settled in USDC with up to 5x leverage to institutional clients in eligible jurisdictions outside the US. So they're expanding as a global company because of the unbelievable regulation here in the US. They have to move outside, and it makes sense, right? They can make a lot of money from leverage exchanges, and they can grow a lot if they're outside the US as well. So Coinbase tried to follow the rules, and the U.S. would not help them out, would not provide clear regulation, gave them Wells notices. So it sounds like Coinbase is now looking for other opportunities, as they said that they would. Now, another industry that is kind of dying, maybe, Chegg. Chegg answers questions online for students, and as you can see, they're down 48% with one of the biggest one-day drops since November 2021 as the CEO admits a threat from OpenAI's ChatGPT, AI taking over Chegg and causing them to drop. Let's see how much it actually fell. CHGG stock fell about $1 billion in market cap just here today because of what they said last night. Now, let me know your thoughts on this underneath the video. How do you think this all shakes out with the banks? Let me know what cryptos you think are going to do well. If you want to know some of the cryptos that I'd buy if I had $1,000, I'll put that video on the end screen. I just made it yesterday. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.